Beautiful. Hi everyone, I am Katrina Chadwick and I'm back with another Crochet Podcast catch up where I chit chat about anything I'm doing crochet related and crafty related, just anything I'm getting up to at the minute. Apologies, drinking some tea. I am crocheting in Australia and looking at my window here, it's nice and sunny today. It is March the 22nd. Yep, had to check. And I have been crocheting for the last three and a half weeks, I'd say, since the last video went up. So I'm going to catch up on what I've done, what's completed, what I've been finishing, working on. I've got bags, so all around here, and I'm just going to show you exactly what I've been up to. The first thing I might show is what I put into the Goulburn show. So I entered into a local country fair that has a pavilion entry, and it's the equivalent to like a fair. I did say that, I've said that twice. A country show that's like a fair. And I put my stuff in and I got a first prize in a beanie that I had made. And I don't have it here with me, the beanie, but I do have something that I entered in, which is actually a finished object. So that is exciting. So I finished up a little baby romper. I had shown the pattern last time in the last video. So this is, I really like the light in this spot today. And I've got like a mirror set over here so I can actually see what I'm doing. So this is the, I don't know the full name. It's Baby Romper. It's in this yarn, which is Lion brand, Feels Like Butter. And it is 100% polyester. It's in teal. And it is super, super soft. This stuff is amazing. So I'm getting up the pattern for you at the same time, but so this beautiful lattice work up in the top section. It's got straps, and the straps are the removable bit just sort of there. And that's my entry ticket bit there, so I can take that off now. And then I've got a bit of hay on it, but that's all seamed up, so it's all one piece in the leg bit there. So it was a really good pattern. The pattern is simple to understand how it's written. This is the newborn 0 to 3 month size, and I'm pretty sure it has quite a few sizes in this, so you can make multiple sizes in it. And I'm really not ready today, I apologize. As much as I've run around trying to get stuff done, it's just not working today. So, sorry. I've also dyed my hair. It's not that you can see it much here in this spot today, but I just dyed it purple. So it's because I had such dark brown hair and the edges were like an old dye from black that I was growing out. So the tips were a bit darker than the top here where I've got like very light brown hair. So it's got tinges of purple. And look, I'm in my jammies. It's just one of those days. So the romper is called the Blue Orchid Baby Romper, and I will show you the pattern through Ravelry. I'm pretty sure it's a paid pattern. Yes. So it's a paid pattern. Worth the money. It's only a couple of dollars. But you can find the free version on the blog. It just says there too. Either way, it's all good. Put that one there. Yeah. So that there is the baby romper. And it's called Blue Orchid Baby Romper. And I'll tag it down below as well, as I always do, so that you can find any of the patterns that I mention in the drop box below. So that was my first finished object because I wanted to get that into the show. It sadly did not win anything, but that's okay because that was in the baby crochet garment for a baby was the spot that it was in, and there was so many entries this year in comparison to the last 2 years. It was kind of nuts, so I'm just happy with what I got. Yeah, I don't have the beanie that I did win a prize with, but that's okay. I showed it last time what I was entering in anyway. But that was my first finished object. My second one is out of a pattern book that I have, and it's Peyton's book 8002. And it's a dishcloth. Now, I'm not going to show you any closer up to get the actual details of the pattern, but it's just called dishcloths. And that is the pattern there. What it looks like in the booklet. But it's a beach home one. And I did it in a emerald green. And I haven't blocked it yet. And I did it in Patterns 8-ply blend cotton, and I don't know the color, so I'm sorry, I don't know if it's green in there as well. Then I've got little booties. This is the Sunday ballet slipper, but I've just altered it so that it will fit a small child. So I started around the top, and rather than doing the chain across here and missing the stitches to have that little bit of detailing on either side, I've just kept it all straight. And so they're rainbow slippers for my son, which are pretty cute. They are in ombre minis. So it's 5 little minis, they're 10 grams each. I still have 3 or 4 grams of each of these left. It probably won't make much of a project in and of itself, so I will use whatever's left of this tube and combine the 2 remnants and probably make something later. Amigurumi probably is going to be a good one, or maybe even a dishcloth. It is 100% acrylic though, so I have to keep that in mind. But I have 2 sons, and that is my eldest. They're his, then they fit him beautifully. I do have to wash them, so that's why I'm holding them back out here so you can just see the lovely brightness of those. And my youngest son wants a pair, so I did buy 2. So I finished lots of little stuff because I wasn't feeling very motivated whatsoever. I just was not in the mood to crochet or do anything. And then I wanted 2 or 3 small projects that I could just whip out, finish, and get done. So I got the slippers, and I got the dishcloth, and I got the baby romper. I'm potentially going to gift the baby romper to our preschool teacher, who is currently having her second bubba next month or the month after. What are we in? We're in March. I think she's due in the first week of June, so it's possibly 2 months away. But anyway, so yes, she's going along, and I thought I would give her something sweet for her little man. Yeah, I did say that, didn't I? And that's all I finished. So it wasn't overly productive with finished objects, but I do have a lot that I've been working on overall. And I've got some notes. So my dishcloth, my romper, my gap, and my whips are numerous. So I shall show you. I started first of all the Taroko sweater, the other pattern that I showed you guys and shared last time, and now my yarn is all knotted up. But I've got I've got 2 jumpers I'm working on. I've currently got them in my Home Row Fibre Co. bag, and this was a gift. So I did a fibre share in November on Instagram, and a lady had kindly said, I've got some project bags that I could send you and some skeins of yarn. And I said thank you so much, because it was an amazing gift. But this bag is amazing. It is so good. It's a plain light pink, pale peach color on the inside. It's a drawstring top, so it keeps everything in, but it holds so much. So I've got 2 jumper projects that I said I've got in here. I don't have all the wool and yarn that need to go in here for both projects, but I do have a lot in here regardless. So yes, it's in that bag. But sorry, I've got the Taroko sweater, and I've literally done the yoke, the start of the yoke here, and it's the ribbing, and I think it's about 5 rows into the yoke. I don't know if it's gonna, there we go. So it's this color, which is slate, and it's from Fibre Lily Yarn Co. in Australia. And this one here, that is a Natural Fibre Arts Aussie Merino sock base, and it's 85-15, so it's 85% merino, 15% nylon. It's a 4-ply fingering weight yarn, and it's called Pecan. So these colors are really true today. I love it. And so to complement those two, because that's the body of the sweater, that's the first accent color I'm using, as you can see up the top. But then there's the third accent color, and it is this one, which is, it's another Natural Fibre Arts. And now I cannot think of the name. I did mention in my last video, so look back at my last video for the name of this one. Otherwise, if I can remember, I'll put it in the description box as well. But Natural Fibre Arts, and I'll show you the pattern because it's amazing. I was just looking on Ravelry trying to search through all the other patterns by the designer because they just look amazing. I would not recommend it for a beginner. It is definitely not a beginner pattern. It's got CSC stitches in US stitch, like in the terms, you know how it's US stitch and UK stitch terms. I think it's the US terms for the stitch, and it's like a single crochet, center single crochet, and it's a lot to wrap your head around to start off with. It's beautiful, and it creates the V from a knit stitch. So as you keep going around and create all these rows, they're going into each other rather than sitting slightly to the left or right, and it creates a knitted effect. So your jumper actually looks like it's a knit jumper, and it looks like you're doing color work, knitting color work all the way through. It's amazing, and I wasn't sure if I'd be able to do it, but I've finally gotten my head around it just now, and I'm probably 5 rows into it, but it's really slow. I've got to go super slow. And I think of myself as a pretty fast crocheter. I would consider myself sort of intermediate to advanced level, but I think once this jumper is completed and I'm competent in it, I could definitely say that I'm more of an advanced crocheter. So that'd be awesome. I'd feel confident in saying that and then trying out any and every pattern. Most of the patterns that I've done, I'd like to test myself and try new stuff each time. So I've always got new stitches that I'm trying. So Nomad Stitches is the designer, and it's the Taroko sweater. I've been looking up Nomad Stitches to find what other designs she's got, and she's got an amazing array of designs. And it's not just garments as well, which is great. So this is, but that is the overall design effect. So it's just that little bit in the yoke that I've started, which is easy, 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 easy. I'm trying to be super speedy today because my kids have just fallen asleep. and I want to smash this out and get it up and upload it really quick so that you guys can have another update and know what I'm doing, because otherwise it might be a week away. At the rate I'm going, life is just speeding by, and we have had so much happening in the last couple of weeks, it's not funny. So the other project was, I started this from the last time I was on, so I've only been doing it for a couple of weeks, but I started this using all the acrylic yarn that I said I was gifted from my nan, and I think it was another family member that had passed away or was destashing, and so I think it's 2 or 3 people actually, and I was given all this different acrylic yarn and a little bit of cotton, and the cotton stuff I've been able to put together and make a blanket, a larger blanket for myself in, but it's just slow progress. Whereas this one, I have made a very large baby blanket. So it's going to be about 1 meter by 1 meter, so 1 meter squared. And it starts off with this beautiful bright pink, goes into a pale pink, like a mustard yellow, white, a variegated, and then there is a stripe of the pink, dark pink again, and a purple. And most of it's all acrylic, it's all 8 ply, so it's all a thicker weight. It's predominantly Lincraft DK. The double crochet yarn from the reject shop that we can get here in Australia, and I'm pretty sure the variegated, this color here, is from Spotlight in a massive 200-gram ball. So there is a ton of it. I will show you. So it's a very, very big ball. And I have tried to make another blanket with this, which didn't turn out. I just did not like the pattern whatsoever, so I wasn't enthusiastic to keep going with it. And I tried some slipper socks and it didn't work. So this has been great because it's used up what I had put into other projects, what I'd frogged from other projects, and now I can put it back in here, and I've still got a massive ball, so there'll be another couple of projects. I'm thinking some amigurumi would look lovely with these colors, because you can see there, they're just a nice mix. And this pattern, so it's a large granny square blanket, but I did get the pattern out of a book that I borrowed from the library. I was out with my husband and it was a rare occasion we didn't have kids and I could look it up. So this is the book. It's called Easy Crochet Country. And it's either garments, blankets, or practical items that you can use based for country settings, but you can use it wherever you like. So this is the pattern, giant granny square throw, and then the big picture on this side, so it gives you, actually no, that one's better. So it's great. It's starting off with the one color, you do the same repeat system 3 times, you go from there to the second one and then out to the third. This blanket was used in a worsted weight yarn, so it's slightly larger. I think it works out to be about 130 centimeters, but I'm using DK because that's what I had in my stash. So the DK version, once I've completed the 3 repeats, will end up being about that meter squared. This one right here at the minute is, so that's the end of the first repeat, end of the second, and I've got the light pink and the yellow almost completed. So then I've just got this little section in here to do. Hoping to get that finished in a day or 2. I don't know whether I will gift it or pass it along or to someone I know, donate, sell. I occasionally sell some of the crochet stuff I make, so I will just keep that as a pre-made item, and even if I find out in the next couple of months if anyone announces that they're having a baby, I can just give it to them. So that's amazing because that gets rid of somewhere between 5 and 7 balls of yarn from my stash, which is great. Do you like my mug? It's actually, I bought it for my husband, so It was funny because I had it in the office for him. And it says, for fox's sake. And no, I'm not swearing, but I'd love to some days. So the last one that I've been working on is this one. Oh, yeah, there you go. That's better. This one is the Seaside Stash Blanket, and it's made with 200-gram balls of wool, and it's a rustic wool. It's got like a little bit of a halo on it. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a little bit rustic. It's a DK weight, and it is from Bendigo Woolen Mills, and that is in Victoria in Australia. So I'll get my little tag to show you. So this one is the forest color, which is actually the green, not this, but there is 5 colors I'm using for it to make it. I got hubby to choose the colors that he wanted, and I said I would make him a blanket. And the Seaside Stash Bust Blanket, I will get the proper name and show you the full pattern, but it's a 4-row repeat, but it's not the same 4 rows every week, and it was divided up into a cowl so that I think it was in 2018, so people could follow along with the designer and make this single bed size blanket. And the equivalent to what I have done is the red to that light brown is week 1, the blue with the little bit of darker brown there is week 2, and then I'm halfway through week 3. So there's 35 weeks in total in this cowl. I'm not planning on taking the full 35 weeks. I'd like to get it done sooner rather than later for my husband so he can enjoy it through winter, but I'm getting there. And I'll show you a picture of the various stitches. So you work the 4 rows. I don't think I described that very well before, but each week they were attempting to show you 4 rows, and then you just keep going, and you have to follow her blog post because it's a free pattern. And that there is the colourful version, and there's a whole heap. There's 131 projects that have been made and completed on Ravelry, so there's quite a few there, and I'm pretty sure there's lots on Instagram as well if you follow the hashtag for Seaside Stash Busting Blanket. It's by Eleanor Tully. Tag it down below as well if you want to follow through and have a look. And that one's my last of my whips. They're the 3 things I'm looking at currently. However, I do have another jumper to show you because I think I've done 2 or 3 rows since I last saw you and last thought to do anything. You know what I just found? Roast vegetable herbs. My mother-in-law gave this to me yesterday and I totally forgot to take it out of my crocheting. Just in case anyone wants to roast their vegetables and crochet at the same time. So I'm using Bellissimo 100% Merino Extra Fine. It's an 8-ply. It's machine washable. It's from Australia and New Zealand. And it's a bit gunky, so it's fallen apart in my bag. But there, that's the true colour. So it's a really vibrant, deep wine red. And I'm doing the add-along sweater. So this is the ribbing bit here that you start off, and it's all short rows up the top. I shouldn't really explain too much of the pattern, but that's the front, which I haven't gotten to as yet. And this is the back. So around the neck, you start around the neck and work the way down, and it gives this beautiful ribbing texture, and it's all worked into the back loops, which gives you this beautiful texture in this jumper. And I'm actually working the sleeves, which is why it's taking me so long, but it does the sleeves, and they're about 3/4 length all the way across, and by the time you get through this portion of the pattern, you come to about midway through your chest, you've completed your sleeves. You can just essentially seam up the bottom up to the armpit on either side, and then you just continuously working around in this one stitch. And that's, I don't even know what the stitch is, but anyway, yes. So it is a paid pattern, so I won't go too far into it, but it's by Addie Day Designs, and it's the add-along sweater. I don't know, yeah, sorry. That was my cat's tail, apologies. So it is a little bit longer than it was before. I can show you how far I've sort of gotten. So I've literally gotten to there. Not very much at all, but I think I've got about 5 or 6 centimeters to go down the bottom before I stop, and then start doing the same thing on the other side. Whoopsie. And that one's just sitting in the bag ready to go for when I get up to it, because it's easier to do than the Taroko sweater, and it's hard to see in the dark grey at night the stitch pattern to be able to work inside the V stitches that are, rather than being on the top, you're working into the base of the V stitches. So it's hard to actually do that with your crochet hook with a dark yarn. And that's all I've been up to actually. So that's quite a quick video from me. I will give you a little bit of a life update, which I normally do at the start, but I was going to hold out to the end this time round. We've had lots happening. We've had kittens. Our little cat Bellatrix has had 2 kittens overnight, so we are extremely excited about that, and I might put up a little picture to share as well. And I don't know names, but I'm thinking of going along with the Harry Potter theme. There's a light grey striped cat or kitten and a white, and I'm thinking Luna and Albus, but I'm not sure, because we also had a bunny rabbit 2 years ago, and he was Snape, so I know I can't use Snape, so we'll just see how we go. But anyway, so we've had 2 kittens. My husband's father passed away, so we've been extremely busy with that and organising family around a service, and we had a beautiful service yesterday, and we remembered him, and we had a very, very fond send-off for him, and that was really nice. We've also had a bit of a rest from the bushfires, but my husband had some time off with us and the family, which is really nice. But then we've had all the corona stuff, the COVID-19 stuff happening. So here in Australia, we're just sort of starting to looking at, well, we're doing social distancing, but we're looking at variations on social isolation. I know everyone in every country is sort of at different stages in that. The craziness has extended down here, unfortunately. I've seen it everywhere where there is people doing odd things in shopping centres and groceries, which is weird, but anyway. And kindergarten, it's crazy. We've got birthday parties every week. So that's what we've been doing. We've been extremely busy, and we've been trying to get through it all and move through life and be happy with it, with our little family, our amazing family we've got here. So we're just chugging along, and I want to keep crocheting, and I will share more with you next time. Bye.